Hey, it's your friend Choice CJ here, and I'm bringing you guys my Week 3 team builder for the P4G Next Generation. I've been doing these before the battle most of the time the past couple weeks, but I want to put this separate because my battle video is pretty long with that team builder part included, so I figured I would split them up and maybe it would make it easier to digest the whole battle video. So if you like that, then great. If you don't, let me know and I can go back to doing it the way I did before. I guess one way or another, you'll see a team builder in a battle. It's just whether it's split up or not. So I guess if I do it together, you can always skip the team builder section. But anyway, we are going up against Panther, coach of the Carolina Clefables. And he has a roster of Terrakion, Sylveon, Goodra, Salazzle, Jellicent, Golurk, Metagross, that's Mega Metagross if you're paying attention, Mandibuzz, Electros, Tauros, and Cradily. So, a lot of really annoying threats. The number one threat, I think, is Terrakion. Terrakion I just don't switch into well, period. It's dual stabs, it's just so hard to handle, and it's really annoying. So if he's some sort of setup set with that, then I'm pretty much toast. I need to keep Musharna at as much health as possible to deal with that thing. My Seismitoad can sort of deal with rock moves, and then Scizor can probably tank a hit. But Mega Scizor this game is brought as the Mega Metagross counter. It is the best Mega Metagross counter in the game, which is really nice. But of course he knows that I have it, so he's definitely going to bring HP Fire. If he brings a Jolly Nature, it doesn't do more than like 45% to my spread. So that's really nice. So he can only like 2-hit KO me if he makes a prediction and he has up rocks. So we'll have to keep that in mind. You know, we don't have a lot of investment on our Scizor this week, so it's going to be hard to really blow through that offensively. We're just going to have to roost off most of his attacks and deal with him that way. He's got a lot of Tabu Koko checks. Sylveon, Goodra, Electros are all pretty good checks normally. So we're switching things up with our Koko set this week, and I'll show you once we get to the end of the team builder. So let's just hop right on into the first spawn, which, as I mentioned, is my Mega Scizor. Nothing special on this set. Roost, U-turn, Bullet Punch, Knockoff. U-turn because I want to be able to take advantage of a Mega Metagross that's pivoting out versus my Scizor. Bullet Punch for hitting up that Terrakion for as much damage as possible. And then Knockoff to hit Mega Metagross for super effective damage. And I don't think I have a Dark-type move that's more powerful than that. I mean, I guess we've got like Brutal Swing and stuff like that. Night Slash. But, you know, this is higher base power, but Knockoff is obviously better versus the rest of the team. We have a little bit of speed on this. I think it's enough speed for Mandibuzz. Let me click here, and we can see 100. Yeah, so we are outspeeding it by a few points, which is nice because Mandibuzz is kind of annoying. You know, it's just nice to be able to outspeed those certain things. So really nice defensive mon this week. He does have Salazzle as a potent offensive fire type to deal with Scizor, you know, offensively, but luckily I think we can wear that thing down pretty easily by getting up rocks and dealing with his team. Next we've got Musharna, Psyshock, Shadow Ball, Moonlight, T-Wave, got that yellow magic. T-Wave is just pretty nice for his team. If I can get like Metagross T-Waved or Terrakion T-Waved, to make him a whole lot easier to deal with. This moveset hits most of his team except for Mandibuzz, which is really nice. And we have full Fizz Def investment to take Stone Edges as well as possible from Terrakion. If he is banded, he should not 2-hit KO us with a max Fizz Def spread, so that's really nice. If he is, or he's like an SD set or something, we're going to be in a little bit more trouble. So we'll handle that when we get there. But yeah, this is just a really nice pivot for his team, and because his Dark type is Mandibuzz, like, you know, he's not going to be threatening us too much with that. He does have the Golurk as another Pokemon that can threaten Musharna offensively. But if he brings Golurk, we're actually going to be in pretty decent shape because there's a couple of Mons that I can pivot into that pretty easily. I could make this Baton Pass. I'm thinking a little bit about that, but I feel like T-Wave might be better. I might ask a couple friends and see what they think. Next up, we've got We Miss John the Seismitoad. Rocks, Earthquake, Knockoff, Ice Punch. I just wanted a rocker and a good mixed wall here. It's good for taking steel moves from Metagross. It's also good at dealing with Salazzle. We can switch in pretty easily to that thing's dual stabs. And if he does have the HP Grass for our Seismitoad, we are prepared with the Rindo Berry. So that's very nice. And EQ obviously obliterates that thing, so that's nice. And then knockoff is just, nice in general. It's an annoying move to switch into. Ice Punch just for Goodra and stuff like that. We do have enough speed on here for again for Mandibuzz, but also for Goodra. I'm not realizing. So Scizor can actually outspeed a non-speed invested Goodra as well, which is very good. But yeah, so get up rocks, pivot into Salazzle, pivot into a choice locked Terrakion if it's going for Stone Edge or something like that. So that's Seismitoad, pretty straightforward. Next up, we've got Trip, and we're bringing a slightly different set than we've brought in the previous weeks. We're bringing a Rest Talk set, and I like this set quite a bit, actually. His ground type is Golurk, which isn't exactly... I mean, it's a good Mon, and it's going to threaten Muck, but I think with this speed investment, we do outspeed it. Let me double check. Like, assuming he brings a no-speed set, yes, we do outspeed, because he's 75, and we are 78. So, yeah, I like to outspeed by a few points. I guess if you're counter-teaming me, you might pick up on that. But anyway, so we outspeed that, and obviously we can hit it up with knockoff and do super effective damage to it. Like, a curse set was really tempting. But I just figured, like, I don't even really need to set up with this thing in order to be annoying. This thing switches in on Salazzle, switches in on Jellicent. Especially if Jellicent has Will-O-Wisp, I can switch this in and go for Rest and then just do a lot of damage to that thing with knockoff and stuff like that. Until the point where I can safely switch in a different Mon to deal with it. But yeah, if he doesn't have like a speedy Golurk, then this Muck is pretty nice versus everything that he could bring. So that's the thought with this Muck this week. The only thing I'll have to be careful of is that obviously Electric Terrain prevents going to sleep. So if Electric Terrain is up, I cannot click Rest. So that's just one thing that I'll need to be aware of. So as you can see, we've got quite a bit of fat so far with all these different Mons. Luckily, that's not all that we're bringing. I'm sure this will end up being a long match, though, even because just because of these 4 Mons. But let me show you my offense this week. We are packing a Choice Banded Tapu Koko, Wild Charge U-Turn, Return Brave Bird. So why are we going Banded? Well, like I said to start, he's got Sylveon, Goodra, and Electros, which are all very good switch-ins to a special attacking Koko. And especially if he's got like a Assault Vest on the Electros or something like that. So going for Banded Return, 2 shots all of those things, which is really nice. And we can go for a Wild Charge as well on like Sylveon, and that does a tremendous amount of damage. Wild Charge just does really good damage to his entire team. Like, look at this. The only resists that he has are Golurk, obviously, the Eel, and I guess Cradily. But I don't think that Cradily actually takes it all that well. Like, let me go to my calc. Let me go to Tapu Koko and go down to Usain Bolt. There's my Banded set. Cradily. Let's make this a level 50. Yeah, like that's, if he's like a Spadef set, that's not a switch in. And I have U-Turn to pivot out on that anyway. I've got Brave Bird that can do pretty good damage versus that thing. So, like, he doesn't have like switch-ins to offensive Koko with a combination of Wild Charge plus Return. We have Brave Bird on here. I'm not sure why I have Brave Bird. I guess, yeah, just to hit the Cradily a little harder. It's also because, like, I don't think I really need a final move. Like, what are the other options I could go for? I guess Facade or something like that. Iron Head for hitting Sylveon, but Wild Charge already hits that thing extremely hard. So, I don't know. Maybe there's something else I can put on here, and I'll look a little bit more at that. But otherwise, I'm pretty happy with this moveset. Yeah, like, this thing just whittles down his team so hard, and it's a great pivot. Especially if this Mon is going to invite in stuff like Golurk or potentially Eel. Then that works out really well for me. So, have enough speed on here for Salazzle, max attack, rest into bulk, pretty straightforward. Then last but not least, we've got my win condition for the week, Sub-Salic Berry Chestnut. You guys, if you've been playing Pokemon for the last 2 or 3 years, you probably have seen this set before. This set, if with rocks, straight up 6-0s, period. Because even like a Fizdef Mandibuzz takes 72% min from Drain Punch. So this thing is just really good versus his team. This speed, I think this allows us to outspeed Salazzle. Let me just take a look. Salazzle, if it is a level 50 here, 185. So yeah, we have 124 speed on here, which allows us to get to 186 speed at +1. So that's just enough to outspeed Salazzle, assuming he's not scarfed. And yeah, we can then go ahead and sweep with this thing. And there's a decent number of mons that we can set up on, like mainly Jellicent and Golurk are what I'm looking at. Cradily is a potential option to set up on. I don't think Cradily gets a lot of coverage to set up, or to really threaten us, other than like Hidden Power Flying or something like that. It gets Sludge Bomb, Sludge Wave. Sure, I guess those are possibilities. But Cradily isn't really known for packing offensive coverage. It's draft league. These mons can bring anything, but I'm not really too worried about the threat of Cradily. And we can set up on a Terrakion that's choice locked into a Rock Move, which is pretty nice. So I feel like there's sufficient setup opportunities here. Even like a Tauros that's like if it's choice locked into like a normal move or a ground move or something like that, we can go into Chestnut. So yeah, basically I just need to find good opportunities to get this thing in, preferably versus Jellicent or Golurk, but versus a few other things potentially as well. Go for a sub, go for a belly drum, and win the game. So I did I did have a mock versus my buddy Omega Jolteon, and Chestnut was able to put in work in that matchup. So hoping that I can repeat that in the game, the actual game versus Panther. And that is the team. So this has already been like a good 12 minutes. So I will, of course, ask that you guys check out Panther's channel, because I'm sure he'll be doing a team builder, and eventually he'll do the battle as well. It should be going up around the same time as the battle's going up for us. And he's a very talented coach. He's got a 2-0 record so far in the P4G Next Generation. He's also in leagues like APA, and is very well known in the community. So hoping that it's going to be a good match. Obviously, I'm hoping that we can pick up the W. And, that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching. Tune back for the battle around this time tomorrow. Make sure you check back to the channel later on for other gaming and Pokemon content. So until the next time, I will see you guys later.